What Gampapa is trying to tell us is that even though you are a very nice, kind human being, and you are very generous, you give your smile, your time, your money, your connection, your everything, let's say, to other people, and that's what we call like a wow. He's very generous. He's very nice. In Buddhism, what we say is it's all because of in the last life she has the moral ethic life. What does that really mean? The moral ethic life means very disciplined life, very good disciplined, like a very aware of his or her the body, speech and mind. If someone don't have a moral ethic, so she might be, when she reborn in a particular form, might be have a lots of wealth, but not as a human being, not as a God realm, not as a upper three realm, maybe reborn as a animal or something else. Even you are here on the YouTube and listening to this Gampopa's the all jewel ornament of liberation. It's also, again, you in past life or in many lifetime before, maybe you practice this moral ethic. So that was the karma, and the result is that right now you are listening to this teaching on online. Namaste. Namo Guruye, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dharmaye, Namo Sanghaye. Today we will continue the jewel ornament of liberation by Gampopa. So we are on the 13th chapter. So I decided from today on I will not summarize the jewel ornament, but I think I will just go through the text. It is much easier for me, and I think it will also very helpful for all of you. So the perfection of the moral ethic, it's out of 6 paramita. The second is the moral ethic. The summary: reflection on the faults and the virtues, definition, classification, characteristic of each classification, increase, perfection, and result. These 7 compress the perfection of the moral ethic. So, in this 13th chapter, the perfection of the moral ethic, so there will be, it will cover these 7 points of the perfection of the moral ethic. So the first one is reflection on the faults and virtues of the moral ethic. The second one is the definition of the moral ethic. The third one is the classification, like how many kind of moral ethics. And the fourth one is the characteristic of each classification, which means more like a definition. And then the fifth is how to increase, which means how to improve the moral ethic. And the sixth one is perfection. So how to maybe you are already following the moral ethic, but how to even more perfect, and then the seventh one is the result. If you really keep your vows, precepts, and having this all the moral ethic, so what is the benefit? So result means what is the benefit, So the first one, the reflection on the faults and virtues of moral ethics. So that means if you don't follow or obey the moral ethic, so what bad things could happen. And if you follow the moral ethic, what are the, like good things will happen in your life. So I think that's what the virtues is all about. So here, let me read the Gampopa's explanation. Even though you may have the practice of generosity, you will not achieve the perfect body of gods and human beings if you do not have a moral ethic. Engaging in a middle way. So now this is, I think, very, very important for all of us. What Gampopa is trying to tell us is that even though you are a very nice, kind human being, and you're very generous, you give your smile, your time, your money, your connection, your everything, let's say, to other people, and you're that's what we call like a wow. He's very generous. He's very nice. So in the 12th chapter, we already talked about this. The benefit or the karma of the generosity is like you reincarnate as having a lot of wealth, but it doesn't mean that you will reborn in the God realm or as a human realm. It's not a guarantee. You might be reborn in a naga, in the ocean, in the water, or maybe you will be in a asura realm, or so on and so forth. But in order to have a reborn in a God realm, or having a human being, and even like a very good-looking, attractive human being, or male or female, and sometimes we say like a wow, he's so handsome, or she's so beautiful. Actually, in Buddhism, what we say is it's all because of in the last life she has the moral ethic life. What does that really mean? The moral ethic life means very disciplined life, very good disciplined, like a very aware of his or her the body, speech, and mind, not talking bad about other people, not using any harsh word, not lying from the speech. That's a moral ethic life, and not killing animals, or not killing other sentient beings, or not doing any the wrong things which people normally do in a relationship. When you're in a in a relationship with your wife or boyfriend, girlfriend, but people still kind of cheating to their partners. So that's immoral. So the ethic life is very loyal to the partner. So that's the ethical, the moral ethic life. And like fighting with other people, that those all are from, or stealing, for example, So this is not a moral or ethic, So the moral ethic is not stealing from other people, and like that's an action part, the physical part. But from the mentally, so you are always thinking really good about other people, the compassion, the loving kindness, not like always jealousy or pride or hatred or negative thoughts. And those are not ethic life, or not moral life. So moral life is always compassion, loving kindness, and like how I may benefit other people. So the more you live the moral ethic life, so you will be reborn as a God realm or in the human realm, but as a so attractive, so beautiful human being, so handsome human being, so attractive. So that's only the moral ethic can bring that kind of result, not from the generosity. So this is what I here mean. So Here, the engaging in the middle way says, even if one achieve wealth through generosity, the being who break his leg of moral ethic will fall to the lower realms. What does that really mean? Is even you are practicing the first paramita of generosity, you are giving, you are doing a social work, you are giving everything what you have, your house, your land, your money, everything, your time. But you, here I say it's so beautifully the example that breaks his leg of moral ethic. So if someone don't have a moral ethic, so she might be, when she reborn in a particular form, might be have a lots of wealth, but not as a human being, not as a god realm, not as a upper three realm, maybe reborn as a, you know animal or something else. So that's why the moral ethic is so important to have a human life, human life, the precious human life. If you wish to have next life continue as a human and continue practice, the moral ethic life is must. So without the practice of moral ethic, you will not meet the Dharma teaching. So this is again very direct statement from Gampopa. So if you don't practice the moral ethic, you will not meet the Dharma. So interesting, even you are here on the YouTube and listening to this Gampopa's the oral jewel ornament of liberation. It's also again you in past life or in many lifetime before, maybe you practice this moral ethic. So that was the karma, and the result is that right now you're listening to this teaching on online, or you meet the Dharma in your life, you meet your teacher, you meet teachings. It's because in past life you practice the moral ethic. So here the possessing moral ethics sutra, in this text, what it says, for example, a person without the sight cannot see the form. So, which means the people who is blind, who can't see, so of course they can't see what is in the right, what is in the left, the color, the shape. You can't see anything, what is in front. So this is a metaphor, the example. Likewise, the person without the moral ethic will not see the Dharma teaching. So see, it's a very straightforward, like the person without the moral ethic, person without the practicing the moral ethic, she will not going to see the Dharma teachings. She will not going to hear the Dharma teachings. She will not going to meet or encounter the Dharma teachings. That means what? Dharma teachings include the teachers. She will not going to meet his or her teacher. So this is so important, the moral ethic. So again, the Gampopa says, without the moral ethic, you cannot be free from the three world of samsara. The same sutra mentioned, the same sutra is the possessing the moral ethic sutra says. So now this is again very deep. Like without the moral ethic, without the practicing the moral ethic, you can't liberate. You can't liberate from samsara. Here, when you say the three world of samsara means the desire realm samsara, the form realm samsara, the formless realm samsara. So these are the three world of samsara. You will not be free. You will be not liberated. You can't liberate from samsara if you don't practice the moral ethic. That's so straightforward. For example, a person without the feet cannot walk a road. Likewise, a person without the moral ethic cannot be liberated. That's a metaphor. If you or I don't have a feet, I can't walk. It's impossible to walk, walk. So, like that, likewise, the person without the moral ethic, if you or me, if we don't practice the moral ethic, if we don't follow the moral ethic, if we don't apply the moral ethic in our life, it's impossible to get liberation, you know. So now it's this is like a, again here, without the moral ethic you are missing the path of enlightenment, and so will not achieve the unsuppressible enlightenment. Gampopa said, without the moral ethic. So the moral ethic normally you have to understand as a disciplined life, like a really good disciplined life. And especially discipline of your three door, the body, the speech and mind. When I say good discipline, means like a really aware of what you are saying, the aware of or mindful of what you are doing, the mindful of what you are thinking. And not only mindful or aware of what you are saying, thinking, doing, but really not doing any more negative karma through the body action, through the speech, and through the thinking. That is moral ethic. It's a very straightforward, not doing any negative action, speech, and thoughts. That's it. So, I mean, that's a difficult for many people. That's a difficult for if you don't stop creating a more shit, it's difficult. You will be stuck in a samsara. So the moral ethic literally means stop shitting. Literally, not that kind of shitting, but shitting in a sense, creating a garbage of negative karma of speech and negative action and negative thoughts. And that's every day. There are 60 to 80,000 thoughts are arising. If you are polluting that all 60 to 80,000 of thoughts and so many actions and so many speech, and how many words you are speaking in a one day, in awakened daytime. And if you are totally polluting your words and thoughts and action, that your subconscious mind is full of shit. So I really request you to stop producing more pollution, stop shitting more negative karma. So then there might be a little hope that you or I might be liberated, might meet your teacher, might meet your root teacher, the root guru, and then you might have some opportunity in the future to have a precious human life, continue practicing. So thank you for listening, and we will meet next session. So we will continue the text page by page, and please keep studying, and we will study together. Bye bye and namaste.